Welcome to Rubber Duck Engineering. Today, we will tear down a Godot application.
Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun! All right, we're doing Godot again. Instead of trying to write a game in Godot, what we've done is we found an open source game in Godot that seems to be pretty functional and pretty neat. And we're going to try playing it. We're going to take it apart. We're going to see how it works and try to see what makes it tick.
Sounds like an excellent idea. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You know, it's Thursday. It's always good to be Thursday. Yeah, I always feel after our little 15-second intro like we got to rush into the code, but I'm going to breathe, enjoy the nice nighttime air. Okay.
We need to work on our transition from the 15-second what is the episode about to the hello, how are you?
We don't have an ad break.
Oh, hey, weren't you supposed to find some theme music for us?
Oh, yeah, I was. But, life, work, all those things got in the way.
Maybe we'll premiere it for the 1-year anniversary show.
Oh, there you go. But we previously promised on the show that for the 50th episode, per one of our loyal viewers' request, that we would return to Godot. And so we're returning to Godot. I was looking around and I discovered before the show, as I was prepping for this, there's quite a bit of open source game content. I had no idea. I guess I've just never tried to join someone else's open source game project.
Yeah, my impression of open source gaming is built around Tux Racer, which I guess was an open source game, or probably is an open source game for Linux. But I think the community has gone way beyond Tux Racer at this point.
Well, I just started looking, and it was a little hard to find. Although, if you go to itch.io, which is this more open sourcey, not open source, but more indie kind of themed game store, they have a way to search for open source games, which may be how you found this one. But anyways, there's several lists. There's quite a few up on GitHub. I was surprised.
All right, you're holding me in suspense. What is the game that we're going to be looking at today?
Titan Tactics, I think.
You said that with such confidence. I believe you.
Well, I didn't pick the game. I'd never even heard of this genre of game, but let's do it.
Let's do it. So apparently this is a game that's themed around or related to in some way Final Fantasy Tactics, which is a game that I played as a kid. And so it has this sort of 90s video game aesthetic to it, which I found appealing.
Yeah, to figure out what this was, I actually went and watched a trailer of the Final Fantasy Tactics game because I think I'd heard of Final Fantasy Tactics, but I'd never played it. And yeah, it was from 1998. So
it's one of these games that has a cult following. So Final Fantasy is a very well-known series of games. And this is an offshoot of Final Fantasy that was more focused around the combat, where they made the combat way more interesting. And the people who love this game really love it.
Wow, in Godot you can even have little project icons, which I guess kind of makes sense. Anyway, so I've opened it once. Here is Titan Tactics by Team Potato. Thank you, Team Potato, for making an open source game. And if I hit play, I bet I didn't hit the share audio button.
We can hear it. I can hear the audio.
Oh, it's probably coming my mic too.
Come through your mic, yeah.
So I guess it does have mouse support. I don't really know what this is showing us. Do you remember what the keys are?
Oh, I think X was maybe the accept key.
X. That seemed to do it.
So, this seems like a legit game to me. It's.
Oh yeah, this reminds me of Pokemon, on the Game Boy kind of thing. I never actually had a Game Boy, but I've seen people play. I'm not paying attention to the.
Right. So this sort of input system is very related to Final Fantasy Tactics. So this is your movement radius. So you get to select which of these squares you want to move to.
And what's
at least in.
Do you know what the orange squares are?
I think those are the limit of your moves. That's the maximal distance you can travel.
It doesn't seem to want to let me, but it'll let me go to What do I say?
Yeah, so in more advanced settings, there'll be a fight going on, and you'll have several characters to control, and then you can basically plan out the moves for each of your characters. You can say like, move to this location, swing your sword, that kind of thing.
Okay. I wonder if I can turn off the sound somehow. I don't know. Maybe that's the first change we should make to the game. In any case, so this is the game. I think it'd be cool to, turn off the sound for one, and I think it would be cool to make a small edit. Or what did you have in mind, Dr. Barth?
Yeah, I thought we'd just start looking at the source code and see like how it works. See if we can figure it out. You feel relieved that the sound is done.
Yes, it was a little too immersive for me.
So I remember when we did our Godot thing, we had a scene. Like, I'm curious, is there one scene or lots of scenes, or how?
It's a good question. Looks like there's a scenes. Whoa, lots of scenes.
Lots of scenes. Okay.
Okay, so like, what does the map scene look like? Okay. Okay, let's try the GUI scene.
Oh, the GUI scene looks like it has a lot of structure to it.
Let's try cutscene. Arrow. I don't know what. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm noticing that, like when we were doing, we made our scene, we put a lot of objects in the graphical editor, but most of these scenes we've looked at so far, it seems like they have some structure over in the scene, like tree view, but not a lot of things visible in the, like the 3D environment.
And maybe that's just because as they like boot up, like, what is this? This is a sound.
Oh, a thunderstorm. So the thunderstorm is a whole scene. That's interesting.
Which presumably plays and then unloads again when it's done.
Yeah. So I remember we were looking at Unity. There was a way of like showing more than one scene at once. So maybe you could bring in the thunderstorm as like an effect. So like there's a spark effect.
Find main. Like, or is there a main in a game?
Is there like a default scene? Well, it showed us like that welcome screen with the new game logo and such.
But how would you like know what that is? Is this like maybe the landing? But why would it load up landing? I mean, landing looks pretty reasonable as a like. Yeah.
Okay.
But what makes it load this first?
Maybe something in the project configuration sets that as the default scene.
Oh, I could believe that. Project settings. Config. Run. Aha, main scene.
Main scene. There you go.
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's another thing. Go ahead, sorry.
I was wondering if we can dig into the code in the scene to see what's there.
Well, let's see. Does it even have code? I mean, it must have some code associated with it. How do we know what?
I was looking at in the panel right above the one you're pointing at. It says landing and then has music, sound effects, and menu.
Ah, here. This has code associated with landing GD. I see. So maybe these are the. I can't tell these.
Godot script, I think is probably what GD stands for.
I can't tell if these are ones that I've had open or whether these ones are the referenced from this scene. But this is the only one with a little script icon.
I see. So should we look through this code and see what it does here?
Sure. So this is ready, like when the scene's loaded, I presume.
Play the theme music. So I bet if you commented that out, that would stop the theme music from playing.
I actually really appreciate how concise this code is. Like, wow, look at that.
Yeah, set up new game. Yield. Oh, interesting.
Get tree. I don't know what get tree does. Is that something they wrote or something? get tree, change scene, get tree. I mean, this is a super simple. I think it's 56 file or 56 lines for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sort of clear what each line does, right? Like I'm curious, what is the isWeb variable used for?
I've seen a lot of games in my search for open source. A bunch of them had been compiled for web, so presumably Godot supports that.
I'm just curious, like what in this file depends on that.
I don't think anything.
I see.
But then what? I see.
Oh, I see. Oh, there's a quit button. I see. Because if it's on your PlayStation, you just turn off the PlayStation. There's no reason to quit. So I'm curious in the new game, it said like game dot. Maybe scroll down a bit. Yeah, set up new game. Like I wonder what that function does.
It's part of game. I see. So this is the like shared. This is a part of their system. Some shared code. I just can't get over how concise this is.
I mean, this looks like it has some pretty serious logic. Like we're like in a doubly nested while loop here.
I don't know what VA stands for.
Looks like it's dealing with wave files. This is really odd looking code. Like SFX split 0, split 1. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure this is the way they mean to do this. Like this feels like it's working around some missing feature.
Mm-hmm. I got some sort of like resource management loading system.
Or just poorly encapsulated, right? Like you could imagine something like this in a for loop or something like that. What are they doing? They're building a tree or something? Sound effects?
It looks like they're breaking down the file name into a tree.
I see.
To be able to index into it.
This is their VA. Oh. I have no idea. Whoa.
Whoa, this is their sound effects. I kind of wonder where these open source games get sound effects. Like, maybe they commission them or something, or
presumably. Anyway, so they seem to split their. So I think what's going on is that these are characters.
Oh, like Chris is a character. That makes sense.
Yeah, and so they're taking the file and splitting it by.
Oh yeah, like attack 1, attack 2.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So that's what they're doing here. Is they're setting up some sort of sound effects array, presumably so they can like switch between.
It makes sense, right? You want to like each character will have an attack 2 sound, and so you just want to say, whatever character I have, play their attack 2 sound.
And I think they're just doing it through encoding in the name, whereas I might do this by like having a class, but maybe classes are not the way in Godot. I don't know. Get level. I don't know what TT is.
Probably the name of the game, right? Titan Tactics.
Yeah, here's a whole bunch of enums. I still like, here we are in our big enum file, and furthest we've gotten is 246. There's just, okay, here's more code.
Well, there's got to be a lot of code in the game, right? I mean, it does a whole lot of stuff.
Well, you'd think so.
What does an ally do?
An ally. Is this time to live? I don't know what TTL means.
See what it's used.
Get root.
I see. They're an archer mage swordsman. That's cool.
Well, these are portraits. Like for the archer type, use the archer portrait.
Oh, I see.
Right, presumably we would find these in the GFX. Like this.
I see.
Process.
If you're not visible, do nothing. It's like object permanence. If you're not there, you don't exist.
I wonder what that's for. If there are things that are like on screen but not visible.
Move backwards. Update stats. So get your player. if you have negative HP, you get healed all the way to 0.
Wonder what that's for. I guess just preventing bugs. Ally show. Ally hide.
This to me looks like a bunch of initialization code. Like I'm curious, like what. Like I'm sort of interested, like looking for like behavior, like what is its strategy to play the game, or how does it interact with AI?
AI directory. Naive and smart.
All right. Okay, if the character can recruit and blah blah blah. This seems like a
preference
if
order.
If the game's over, get out of town.
Mm-hmm. If I should idle, whatever that means, like I'm constrained in some way, then I'll idle. I've written loops like this, right? Or character control. I see. If I'm not the character in control, again, like, why are you hitting this? But okay. Otherwise,
this and the other games we've done is these game programs tend to like execute all of your code, and then the code is just supposed to bail out when it's not meant to do something. Whereas in a UI toolkit, we tend to try to like keep track of what's dirty, and then only visit the nodes or the things that need to be touched in this iteration. I think it has to do with the games are sort of planning for the worst case. They want to make sure they always have enough compute capacity to do all the things they need to do, and so you might as well, since you have budget for everything, you might as well visit everything. Like you're not trying to be like very power conscious.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. If we can heal, we have a dying ally. We heal a dying ally. Seems like a reasonable thing. Highest preference thing. Otherwise, we get our enemy with a disadvantage.
Huh.
Okay.
If you can't attack that enemy, just get any nearest enemy.
If the character can recruit, you can recruit and we can heal, then we try and heal. I don't know who that is. Whose character? Is that us?
Yeah, we're a character. Maybe we heal ourselves. I'm not sure what Can Recruit's all about.
But why would we do this if there's an enemy? Okay.
Otherwise, you attack the enemy. I mean, it's kind of neat. Like it's.
I just wonder what this feels like on the other side of the camera. Like, because I think you and I could sit here and like read some random file in a project we've never known for hours.
Well, it's sort of an interesting question. Like when you encounter a code base that you've never seen before, how do you get oriented? Like how do you sort of find your way into it?
Well, I was thinking about this because we looked at this game for like 5 minutes last night just to make sure it was sane. And I was trying to think today, what would I do with it? I think one thing I would try and do is like change the color of, like do some simple change to like verify that I actually could understand how to touch the code base, right? So I could like change the color of the like move indicator, or something like that, or change the text of one of the.
Well, why don't we try to manipulate the landing page? Like, can we change the text on the landing page?
I would suspect so. Let's see. Excuse me. Landing. Looks like these are fixed text. That seems a little less exciting.
Well, can we rearrange it? Like put new game above continue?
Sure. I expect it would work just fine. Like. There you go.
I see. There's no continue.
Interesting. Continue auto hides. I suspect there's some logic in landing for that. Probably like on load or ready here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Has save file.
There you go.
So maybe just make the continue show up all the time.
Sure, we just remove that. I think we could. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we wanted to grab the focus or not. They're both grabbing focus. Oh, come on. How do you indent Godot? Shift tab. Okay, then. There's your continue. Your non-working continue button. Who knows what it'll probably crash. No clue what that did. Okay. I wonder what start game. Like what happens if you call load game?
Yeah, try to go into the game and see what it's like. What does start game actually do?
Save file.
Return.
Oh, so I bet we like never. I bet we went to the next scene, but we would crash.
Try it. Let's see it crash. Yeah, 'cause I think we have not initialized the game.
There we go. We got the gradient of death.
Can we skip to another level? Like what are our choices here?
What, you mean once we're in the gradient of death?
No. Quit out the gradient of death. Like,
oh, we were in the debugger. We were like trapped in some exception.
I see. It's trying to actually do something.
Yeah. In fact, world is where we were trapped. I have no idea. This must be the. So, like, I wonder what shows.
By the way, I'm always amazed at how fragile software is, right?
Oh,
like you just made the tiniest change to it, and like it allows you to go off path and violate all the invariants.
Games in particular. So, like, say I wanted to like edit this text, or if I wanted to change the color of this from blue to red.
Okay, so let's try to find it. So
I have no idea how to find it. I could pause.
Oh, hit pause. Like, can we tell what scene we're in?
Now we're back to the how do you make it not play music. This must be a very common. I'm just looking for the like stop the the music button.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's. I mean, I could try. I don't know.
You could go to the place where it loads in the music and just tell it not to do that.
Well, but wouldn't you have to change all the places where it does that? So, like, you could make the landing not. Right, this thing?
Yeah.
But is that the comment? No, there's a comment in Godot. That's all music here.
Right.
But it doesn't solve music once you get in.
Okay. So we just need to figure out where you go when you get in.
Well,
like, can you search over all these files for a world map? I was searching here for music.
Looks like maybe world. I have no idea if this is it.
I feel like if I were doing this,
oh, there we go.
No,
I can deal with that. All right, so what do we did? We here and then called for spawn A, spawn chess. What is this? This is ready inside world. I wonder if this is the like main load level. Interesting.
I see. So maybe the world is like the container and the level gets loaded into it somehow.
All right, so let's look at the levels. Amazing game, Son of Anton. Yeah, I've never played it, but is it good? Let's see, music. resources. I swear I saw the levels here somewhere. Oh, here's the story. That's interesting.
Oh. Oh, this is dialogue. I bet you could edit the dialogue for level 1.
Can I get class dialogue? All right, let's look in here. I want to find Loki. I think Loki was mentioned.
Oh, it's level 1 start dialogue. That's got to be what...
Whoa, look at all this. This is kind of cool. They wrote their own little like text format.
So can you edit it? Like, can you make like one of these characters say something else? You're the worst scout of Haki.
How's that?
That's great.
We gotta quit this. Wish I could figure out how to change where it starts the window too. New game. I remember
game. You did it. That's cool.
I love it.
I like the dialogue system. It's so neat to like, because I imagine you have to write a lot of dialogue to make a game like this. And so
sure. So why
making
not
a format for it makes
text format? Okay, so interesting. So level 1 start. I see. Level 2 start. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Cast. No idea what trays is. Is that the?
Well, let's take a look at it. I think you probably need to.
Oh, I see.
Look at that.
Sort of like
it's over there. So there's like a level, hit points, max HP.
Okay.
This also reminds me of when we were looking at Unity, where we built out these like property panes and could.
Okay. Oh wow, it's translations. Fascinating.
Oh, that makes sense too. It's a localized dialogue.
I wonder how much of this is like patterned, like normal for games, or how much of this just is bespoke per game. I suspect a lot of the latter.
I imagine many levels. There's levels, by the way. I imagine many games don't have dialogue at all.
3D. How is a TSCN? Oh, it's because I did this. I bet it's here. Whoa!
Oh, look at that! Oh, can you move around and look? Oh, this is totally where we were. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so they did use the like level editor to actually put these things in.
Is this like where we spawn?
I don't know. Can you click on that? Like, what is that? What is that thing? Player spawner. Yeah, that totally spawns your player. Remember we had the ball spawner and stuff in our game?
Okay.
Can you click on a player spawner and see what it looks like it has an associated script. Axis 1, pixel size. Okay.
Huh.
Enter tree, ready.
Non-engine editor hint, hide.
So what happens if you change the pixel size, like make the pixel size 6 instead of 0.006?
What does the pixel size even mean?
I don't know. That's why I'm suggesting that we change it.
All right. Get ready to be big.
The pixel sizes will be amazing. Oh. I wonder if it only affected the editor.
What that changed.
Try looking at it in the editor. It might have only been an editor property.
I'm just like waiting for something to be absolutely gigantic. Okay. I'm sorry. So you want me to like do this in the editor?
Yeah.
See anything changed?
No.
I don't know what that's for. I mean, we could grep for it. No. Character spawner. Enter tree.
Called when the node enters the scene for the first time. Okay.
But I don't see anything using it. It may also just be dead code. Like that could also totally be.
So what else is here? Like, what is the surprise Bubba? Like, what does its script do?
The who?
I'm just looking at this map. There's a thing called a surprise Bubba.
This is a story maker? No. What script is open here? Story maker. If I said the story maker script, it has no pixel size. Oh, it does. It's a smaller one. Centered, texture, add to group story markers, so world can find it.
I feel like this is just setting up some kind of data model that somebody else is going to interpret.
Yeah, I presume there's some sort of like standard code that runs the level, and these are like the pieces on the chessboard. But somebody else has the logic to play it. What is this thing? This is level 1. I just can't tell where I am. Oh, okay. All right, so this is the level.
These are all of the. I think this subpane here contains all of the scripts that are existing in this scene. But I think this script is generic. For like, I bet if you went to level 2, you'd also have the same level.gd script.
Well, I'm not sure whether these are recent scripts, like darkened screen. I don't know yet, but okay. Move. Let's see what this thing.
So can you search for story markers? I wonder if somebody else will reference story markers. Yeah, the world. See, it said so world can find it. I'm curious what.
So what does world do? Besides everything. Let's see, how big are you, world? Oh man, we got 1,000 lines here.
We found the code. The code had to be somewhere. I mean, the game does something. I don't know if you could really create such a thing.
It's not like HyperCard. They just did it all, by moving buttons around or whatever.
Maybe it's the dream of these game engines. You could do that, but I'm not surprised there's a thing called world that contains 1,000 lines of code.
Flame shower.
Oh, these must be the spells. Secondary attack. I see. So if you're a mage, your secondary attack is a thunderstorm.
And it has a cursor mode. Oh, maybe the cursor is it's that little upside down pyramid that you move around the map as to where you want to go.
Oh, so I can put my thunderstorm right here.
Yeah, that could make sense.
So change the default one to be thunderstorm. See where it says default up on line 48. Oh yeah. Okay. I just really want it to be a thunderstorm instead of a triangle.
Hello, Rubber Duck Engineering.
We're totally destroying this game, but
it's great. Okay. I'm having fun. Okay, come on. Show me my cursor.
Oh, I want it to be a thunderstorm.
Yeah, I'm totally missing a thunderstorm here.
But that thing has got to be the cursor, right? The little triangle thing.
Oh. That seems like a very reasonable theory, but it's also possible that it's possible that gets set. That this is the I don't know. I don't have good theories.
Low level. That looked interesting. That was the next function.
Okay.
So go load the T scene. Add child below. Okay.
Get blocked cells. Entity at.
For each character. If the character is dead.
Spawn cover, yeah. Spawn chest, spawn characters. I want show me the. Let's talk more about the cursor. Where's cursor in here?
Okay.
Code. Range overlay.
Thunderstorm. Default is a vector 0, 0. Thunderstorm is a vector like that.
I have no idea what I just did, but I tried changing the cursor mode to.
We don't even know if this thing is the cursor. Like it's
I have no idea, but
it's a little speculative.
Our cycle times could be a little faster. Whoa!
Oh! Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, I see. That's what the vector is. It's which square is your. So this must be when you cast the spell. It affects those 4 squares.
Makes sense. Whoa! Look at.
Oh, your range is just off the charts now.
That was cute.
Okay.
So what happens if I?
I don't think it's going to let you. I think. I bet we could find. I bet we could find that check and disable it. The like when you select where you're going to go, that it must somehow check whether it's legal, and we could just say always legal.
We're in your codes, making it legal. Okay.
We're turning cheat mode on hard.
Okay.
This is like how big is this file? This looks the selector. You think the selector is your thing that you want to change color?
I don't actually know. Selector.
Okay.
I want to see. There must be like a range. This range overlay. This is totally it.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight target range. You're saying?
Oh, it's just like we lack the vocabulary. Like we don't know what the little yellow thing is called.
Oh, totally.
And this is part of getting acquainted with the code base, is just learning the vocabulary of what each like concept is, because it's not yellow thingy. It's the carrot or whatever.
Well, when I talk to people about learning a code base, it's just like do the smallest change. There's just always infinite things to learn. Like if we were actually trying to contribute to this, I would start by doing the smallest change possible. Right. Does this have an associated, like who draws this range overlay? It's not
there's
drawing
a paint function. No, there's a paint function. I suspect that because when it gets added to the tree, because it participates. If you look up at the top, it'll say it inherits from like some kind of base class, spatial. Whoa! Well, that's really cool. It like jumps to documentation.
Yeah. Theoretically, others do that, but I've not seen one do it like this.
That's neat. Anyway, I bet that like this is like I saw a paint function there. Like I'm sure that's what causes.
But where's the color?
Well, let's read the paint function. Paint selector. So highlight tile, possible tiles, overlay tiles. Like, I'm not sure that this is actually the thing you're worried about, right? This is the range overlay, so it's like showing you which game squares are interesting. But there may be another kind of overlay, which is like the little yellow. It's like where is this in the source tree?
It's gonna be here.
There's a bunch of interesting. Are there other overlays?
I wonder if Pathfinder, health bar, grid map Pathfinder, flame shower, cheat chest spawner.
What is arrow?
That's a good question. Fire process. Hit. All right, so what is Pathfinder? Walkable tiles.
I think this part says if you want to go from where you are to where you want to be, how do you like what route do you take?
Huh. I could stare at this code base for hours. I've never played this game, so like I'm not like filled with passion to recreate this game, but it is fascinating to.
I think we should try to find the check that prevents you from just walking to an arbitrary spot.
Okay.
And then that would allow us to walk wherever we wanted.
Ooh, what's this path preview? How do you? I see.
Export color. You can try to find who else exports a color. If you're really looking for yellow.
I suspect this is set in the editor somewhere.
You can go back to Visual Studio Code, and that'll let you search through more of the files. Or not.
That's fascinating. I wonder, maybe they're just not ever used? I don't even know how you set a color.
We'll switch it to always be bad color. And see if what effect that has. No.
Not the code.
Yeah.
And Pathfinder. Is there a grid there was grid Pathfinder? We may be off the reservation here with the Pathfinders. That's not the right phrase, but off the path we're looking for.
Path.
Set tile overlay. Oh, get cell name.
Move, attack, hit.
Generate overlay tile. This is looking promising. Hide non-walkable tiles.
Oh, what happens if we just turn that off?
The hide non-walkable tiles?
Yeah.
What's this? Mesh library and get cell name. Like, I wonder if these are resources somewhere here. Range overlay? Like
What is angled?
Oh. This feels like we're in the right spot.
What is overlay mesh.tsyn?
I just don't know how to see it.
That's the overlay mesh itself. I'm curious about the next one on the list.
There you go. We found it.
Do you think that's it? It looks a little different.
I think this is it. Right, like these are that's the sloped and the not sloped one.
Oh, these are the tiles, not the little carrot above your head.
Yeah, the tiles are what I was thinking of. But so like flat move, this thing. If I change its material, where's it getting its color from?
Can you click on it? Is this the one? Like, can you click on the yellow thing in the?
Oh, maybe it's not. How do I zoom? How do you like zoom to me? What is this? Okay. So that's blue.
Okay.
What is this one?
Can you click on
Clicking is not my strong suit here. Let's try over here. Oops. All right, that's.
What about just flat? What is you just go through them in the. Okay, that's not it.
Angled.
Okay.
flat attack,
Okay.
flat move, flat select.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it definitely looks yellow over there.
What's with this mesh?
Transform. Does it have a material? I don't expect it would because the other one didn't. Okay.
But how is it painting itself? Whoa, what did I do?
Or how is it pulsating? Is another question I have.
Yeah.
Oh, does it have a script? Can you?
I went looking for.
It says script in the bottom right corner of your screen. I wonder what happens if you expand that.
Nada.
Empty. Everything is empty.
But how is it pulsating? Is this like, are we on the like outer one and we have to like go inside it somehow? Like, I don't understand what that icon
Oh,
is.
sub resources. What is sub resources? Surface material. It has 4 frames that it goes through. But
Animated texture.
Okay. What can you drop down the texture? I see.
That's fascinating.
Oh, resource. It's got a resource.
GFX obj.
Can you make your inspector wider so you can see more of that path?
Import select tile.
Yeah, it's select t1.png.
I would never think to design any of this way.
Yeah, so like, do you have another PNG that you can put in there? Like put in a picture of your cat or something? Like just asking for a friend. Like,
well, we can also change it to something else here, right? Then we don't have to.
Yeah, change it to that rock.
Okay, so this is flat select.
It's a
We're
sub
so in the
material.
weeds here.
It's interesting because these like sub resources were totally hidden from the editor. You had to know to go into this like context menu to even see the internal structure of this thing.
That's so wild.
Oh, what is vertex color? I see, because all these things are, it's not shaded. It's just like literally cycling through the PNGs.
I think so. I think it's basically a GIF. A GIF applied to a mesh.
The animated PNGs are a thing, but not here.
All right, so what happens? Oh no.
Oh no. Control Z. Oh, no. Undo. Okay.
All right, what do we decide with this?
Rock 03.
I see. So like one frame, it looks weird.
We'll change all the frames to rock.
Oh, where are we? Well, does it? I'm so confused.
What is texture? Oh, look, resource. There's another place that says select tile. Change that to rock. And we're sort of, select tile material.
What, pray tell?
This is the material.
What does the material mean? Is that's like the reflective properties and stuff?
I'm not sure. Like, what is it? Does it have a resource or anything? Like, transparent, unshaded. Okay. What about the albedo? Albedo. Color, alert.
Oh, can we like revert the
There's a color.
block?
Yeah. Oh, I see. You're undoing. Oh no,
What have I done?
you've undone definitely far enough.
All right, let's see. I want to go back to this thing.
And there's your color. Yes. Hot pink.
Okay.
Wait, it's still pretty light though. Like make it hotter pink. Like.
Well, and it's not clear that the hot pink took. Like, look at this still. And is that because this PNG is still
yellow? But go back to select and pick a more saturated color. Like you pick basically a white color.
Where'd we go? This thing?
Yeah.
I see.
Just in the rectangle, like click in the top right corner of the rectangle. Yeah. Like that.
Okay, so now if we go back to, I don't even know where we were. Wait, it's this thing? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it totally happened. Okay, let's repeat the game.
It only took us 50 minutes to change the color of the movement tile.
Well, but it's understanding, right? Like now that we understand.
Yeah. Oh, we can do it way faster now. Hey, and we got high robotic engineering.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, I see. These. I meant to change the blue ones, but.
Oh, we can. I mean, now that we know how to do it, we can change the blue ones.
Oh, where are the blue ones? That's not select tile.
I think it's flat. Just go through all.
Flat move. Okay. So what is flat moves?
I bet if you click on it, it'll have a similar.
Okay. Flat move.
Sub-resources. Material.
Did I do it wrong? Resources, material. Move tile. Okay, it's in obj, which is where we are. Where is move tile? Oh, I see.
Essentially, the scene just contains like a library of, not quite sprites, but like objects that you can mess with.
All right, so here's the move tile material. Now if we set this thing to hot pink and we make it saturated, I don't see it having changed.
Okay. Do you want to pick a different color that like we haven't picked before? Like a, yeah.
Okay. So now we should expect the tiles close to us to be green. After we get done being greeted by the dialogue.
Yeah. Great. Success! I feel like this is another thing about exploring a big code base. At some point, it just becomes science, where you try experiments and you form like a hypothesis. Like you just said, I hypothesize that now the tiles are going to be green. And it's really important to state your hypothesis so that you can't cheat it later. And then when it comes up, it's like, oh, obviously they were going to be green. You have to say it ahead of time, and then that confirms your understanding.
It's interesting to me that I learned that the entire world is composed of flat and angled spaces. That's it.
Oh yeah, if you look right behind you, and then to the left one, there's an angled one.
Yeah, there's one angled here and one angled here. That's all I got. They just rotate the angled one.
Well, the bridge one is stretched, right? Because or do you think that's two? I think that's just one. It just stretches across the bridge.
Unclear. Maybe it is stretched. Oh, I see. Maybe these tiles are not the same grid. Like that we could also check, right? So if we go to level 1 3D, right? Are they changing the tile? Like what's going on there?
They look like they're the same size as the other tiles. Just maybe the angle was so steep that it looked bigger.
Is it a camera perspective thing? Like, why does this one? Oh. I apologize to all of you who know how to use Godot, and it's painful to watch. Like, what's going on there? I don't know. I'm having a lot of trouble moving around here. There's no how to select that. What'd you say?
Well, it looks like it overlaps. If you look at the left part of the grid, the bridge, it overlaps the grid point.
Oh.
Yeah, so it is wider, but it's because it's overlapped, not because the river is actually more than two blocks wide.
I see.
There must be some sort of custom handling for it.
There was a thing about bridge in our little this thing.
Oh, there's like a separate bridge tile?
Bridge placeholder.
Oh, I see.
Not entirely. Bridge select.
Can you click on it? Double click on it.
Move. So bridge is a special thing. There's flat, there's angled, and there's bridge.
I see, because it's rounded a little bit. You see, if you look at it,
yeah,
it has composed of 2 steps.
Yeah, and you see them stacked here, right?
Yeah.
This is
That's
cool.
Fascinating.
I think one of the things that I've noticed here is just the way of like laying out the code and laying out the objects and stuff are just not the way that my brain would immediately think about this problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I never would have thought to create a scene to contain all of my highlighted objects. Like this scene just may exist purely to edit them, and like they may get loaded directly out of the resource file. But if you want a way to author them and manipulate them, you probably come to the scene that you never actually visit in the game.
Yeah. I actually don't know if they don't load this, but but you're right, they may not. I do recall, so like I was watching this video on the gentleman who makes Bad North and Townscaper, and just watching him, doing his editing in Unity. And what's interesting is that when you play the actual game, the like editing space that he has is just off screen.
I see, it's all there, like all the.
It all appears to be
can't ever get there
in the scene, and he just like zooms out to do his editing.
This reminds me of the people who they do speed runs of whatever it is, Mario 64,
totally.
And they found a way to like scoot through the wall.
Oh yeah,
and they get to the place where all of the like game designer toys are, and they like go directly to the end boss or whatever.
Yep. And they have this in Breath of the Wild too, where you can like get out of bounds, and then there's just all sorts of like incomplete areas and things where maybe they were debugging things, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's just a whole different world. So,
well, I feel like I learned a lot about how a like much more advanced Godot project is structured. I certainly don't feel like I'm an expert on this game or anything, but I'm like poking at it and prodding it.
I definitely feel like I would need to see more of these to get a sense. Like, is this a normal structure, or like I don't?
I have no idea.
Somebody I follow on Twitter who I used to work with, they were talking about how one of the things that they're working on right now is developing taste in a new area of expression for them, and that a lot of that was just about like just doing it. I don't have any taste for game design yet, or anything approximating taste.
I'm sort of getting a little bit of the aesthetic. Like it seems like the aesthetic of having lots of little tiny scripts attached to objects seems like a good aesthetic. And it felt like when we got to that world script that was like 1,000 lines long, it was like, maybe this isn't.
But I wonder if they're just separate areas. Like the world script is the game logic, and all those other little scripts are the object logic.
It's like a hub and spoke model where like the game object is the hub, and all these things are like little spokes that it interacts with.
Well, or to take back to our history of working on web browsers, right? The little objects are the like OpenGL web adder, the like whatever really hyper-specific node that maybe you load on, 10% of pages or something like that. Whereas the document, was a giant. Okay, I'm way in the weeds for like
But when I worked at WebKit, I felt sad about document.cpp because it was like many thousands of lines long and like who knows what it did? Like it just did everything.
Well, Adam, this was a lot of fun. Any update for our viewers about the progress of pizza before we go on our?
You ask me about pizza every week. Like we only make pizza like a few times. Like
Okay. Well, I made fancy, crazy, different bread this weekend, just because I wanted to switch it up. I made currant, raisin, coriander. It was roasted coriander, wheat bread, and it was surprisingly
all at once. That was like one.
Oh yeah.
One loaf. Oh wow.
Yeah. You just have to be awash in the flavor concoction. So that was an adventure. Anyways, fantastic to see you. This was fun. Next week is 51, and then
The big 5-2.
The big 5-2. Although we may actually be cheating by a week because we did have an emergency episode.
That's true. If you look back in the history of the channel, there's I think an episode that's 1 minute long, or maybe 90 seconds long.
Yeah. So we may
it's our finest work.
We may actually celebrate a year at 53. But we can work that out in the green room. So, anyways, wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see all of you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Yeah, see you next week.